Hello everyone. So in this session we will be seeing how to prepare a bank reconciliation statement in Excel. So here we are given bank reconciliation statement as on 1st March 2019. So we have particulars, amount, we have balance as per cash book, then we have some transactions, and then we have balance as per bank statement as on 1st March 2019. Then we have bank statement for the month of March. So we have date, particulars, we have transaction number. So this has transaction number or your check number. Then we have debit, credit and balance. Then we have cash book, that is your bank account as per book. So this cash book is in the vertical format. So we have date, particulars, then we have check number or bank transaction number, then we have voucher number. So this is the internal voucher number. Then we have debit, credit. Then we have to prepare a bank reconciliation statement as on 31st March 2019. So, before starting with bank reconciliation statement as on 31st March 2019, let us understand what will be the items that will be included in this bank reconciliation statement. So, to begin with, we have to first look at the bank reconciliation statement of the opening period. So, opening period in this case is 1st March 2019. So, here there are certain transactions which are there in the bank reconciliation statement. Now, we have to check whether these transactions are either in your bank statement or cash book for the month of March. If the same transactions are appearing in your bank statement or cash book for the month of March, then it won't appear in the bank reconciliation statement as on 31st March 2019. But if there are certain pending transactions which are not appearing in your bank statement or cash book for the month of March, then those pending transactions will also appear in your bank reconciliation statement as on 31st March 2019. Then there might be certain financial transactions which are recorded in the bank statement but are not there in the cash book. Again, those transactions will be part of our bank reconciliation statement as on 31st March 2019. Then, cash book. There might be certain entries which are recorded in our books of accounts but are not appearing in the bank statement. Again, those transactions will also be recorded in the bank reconciliation statement as on 31st March 2019. Now, let's see the bank reconciliation statement of the opening period, that is 1st March 2019. So, we have balance as per cash book 10 lakhs. Let's verify this. Let's go to the cash book. 1st March 2019 balance brought forward, we have 10 lakhs. Correct. Then we have some transactions here. We'll look at it later. Then we have balance as per bank statement on 1st March 2019, 12,50,000. Let's go to the bank statement. 1st March 2019 balance brought forward, credit balance of 12,50,000. So this bank reconciliation statement appears to be correct. So this is the way you verify the bank reconciliation statement. The balance as per cash book and balance as per bank statement should match. So this is the first step of verifying if the bank reconciliation statement is correct. Now, before beginning with our working, first we'll go to this bank statement. Now in this bank statement we have two amounts. We have debit and credit. So instead of debit or credit, we'll be putting this amount as plus or minus. So now credit balance in the bank statement means a positive balance, whereas debit balance means a negative or overdraft balance. So the formula we'll give here is credit minus debit, that is FO minus EFO. Now this formula will copy it throughout our bank statement. Now let's go to the cash book. Cash book, it's vice versa. Your debit balance is positive and credit balance is negative or overdraft balance. So the formula will be debit minus credit. So that is this. Now, let's go to the bank reconciliation statement on 1st March 2019 first. So, we have certain check issued but not presented for payment. So, check issued but not presented means they were appearing in your cash book before 1st March 2019, but same are not presented for the payment, so they were not appearing in your bank statement. Now let's see if these checks are presented for the payment in the month of March. Now these are the check numbers. Now if you check this individually, these are only 4 transactions, but practically there might be lot of transactions wherein the checks were issued but not presented for the payment. So instead of looking at manually one by one, what we can do is we can use a VLOOKUP formula. So VLOOKUP formula will search this value in the range specified and it will return the value of that particular transaction. Let's see how it works. So is equal to VLOOKUP, then bracket, then now this 345986 I wanted to search in bank statement. So B7, comma, I go to bank statement, I give the range. I want VLOOKUP to search this in this range, that is in the transaction number. So it will search it in the transaction number. Now, again I'll put it as comma. I want VLOOKUP to return the amount in the 5th column. What is the 5th column? 5th column is this one. So, comma 5, then again comma. I want the VLOOKUP to exactly match my transaction number or check number with the bank statement. So, after comma, I put it false, or I can also put it as 0. Then I'll close the bracket and complete the formula. Enter. See, I got 60,000. 345986. So let's verify this. 345986. Let's verify this manually. So in bank statement we have 345986 and the amount is 60,000 on the debit side. That is a payment. So here it is showing 60,000 negative. So this value is returned in the bank reconciliation statement. So this 60,000 minus 60,000 corresponding to this 345986, that is 5th column, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th is returned in the bank reconciliation statement here. Now we will be copying this formula throughout to see if all checks issued are presented. Now before copying this formula, this D4 to H23 range in the bank statement, I want it to be constant. So I'll be taking my cursor here near D4 and then I'll be pressing F4. So I got this dollar sign, that means this is constant. This range will remain constant even if I copy the formula to all the cells. So let me copy this. See, even if I copy the formula, this D4 to H23 has remained constant. Now what has it done? VLOOKUP. It has looked for this value 345987 in cell B8 in this range, that is bank statement D4 to H23, and it has returned the value in column number 5 corresponding to this check number in the bank statement. So now once I do this, now these amounts, whatever I am getting it here, all these amounts are check issued and presented or appearing in the bank statement in the month of March. Again, this check deposited 658975 is cleared in the month of March. We can verify this manually. 658975. Let's look for this. 658975. See, we have it here. 658975, 25,000. So it has returned this value, 25,000 here. Now, these are cleared. So they won't appear in your bank reconciliation statement as on 31st March 2019. But there are certain transactions which are not cleared. So, for example, this is not cleared. So it will appear in your bank reconciliation statement as on 31st March 2019. Let's mark this. And this. These we can ignore. There are no amounts here. I'll just delete the formula. So now this 50,000 and this 15,000 will appear in the bank reconciliation statement as on 31st March 2019. Now let's go to the bank statement. Now there might be certain transactions in the bank statement which are there in the bank statement but are not there in the cash book. How do we find out? We use VLOOKUP again. So VLOOKUP this transaction number in the cash book. So cash book range and return the value in the fifth column. Fifth column is this one. And the value has to be exactly matched. So 0. Or you can also put false. NA. Now, before copying this formula to all the rows, I'll just put a F4 here to make the range constant. Now, I'll copy this formula. Now, if you see these amounts appearing, they are in your bank statement as well as in your cash book. So these won't be appearing in the bank reconciliation statement as on 31st March 2019. Now about this NA. Now this is a opening balance. So anyway this can be ignored. I'll delete this. Now there might be certain transactions from here which were there in the bank reconciliation statement as on 1st March 2019. Now, so we'll do a VLOOKUP here. Define in this and return the value in the second column. 0. So before copying this formula, I'll make this constant. I'll copy this formula to all other rows. So this is BRS 1st March 2019 and this is from cash book. We look up from cash book. Now if you see here, now these are already cleared, so no problem. Now these NAs, so now these, even though they are not appearing in the cash book, they are appearing in the bank reconciliation statement as on 1st March 2019. So this NA need not be recorded in the bank reconciliation statement as on 31st March 2019. Then, so either there has to be value in this or this column. So we can ignore till here. Now after this transaction 1545454544, this of 10,000, it is neither appearing in the cash book nor it is appearing in your bank reconciliation statement as on 1st March 2019. So all these transactions will be appearing in the bank reconciliation statement as on 31st March 2019. Let's mark this. Similarly, now let's go to cash book. Now, there might be certain transactions in the cash book which are appearing in the bank statement or which are appearing in the bank reconciliation statement as on 1st March 2019. Let's use a VLOOKUP formula to find out this. So, here, this bank statement and BRS is on 1st March 2019. Now let's first do a VLOOKUP for a bank statement. We look up this value in bank statement and return the value of 5th column. Now I'll just make this range constant by pressing F4. If the F4 doesn't work, you can press function key and F4 together. Now let me copy this formula. Now these transactions are appearing in your bank statement, so they won't come in the bank reconciliation statement. For this is a opening balance, so it won't appear in the bank statement also. So I'll delete this. This is a closing balance. Again, this won't be there in the bank statement. I'll delete this also. Now for this transaction, let's see if they are in the bank reconciliation statement as on 1st March 2019. So I'll do a VLOOKUP. So now I'll be making this constant before copying it. Enter. Now I'll copy this formula. Now if you see, all these transactions are not appearing in the bank reconciliation statement of 1st March 2019 also. So now these transactions will be part of your bank reconciliation statement as on 31st March 2019. Now we'll start preparing a bank reconciliation statement as on 31st March 2019. Bank reconciliation statement as on 31st March. Let's begin with balance as per cash book. So what is a balance as per cash book? Is equal to, let's go to the cash book. What is the balance as on 31st March 2019? 10,30,000. So we will enter this. Now let's look at all the transactions first. Now in the bank reconciliation statement as on 1st March 2019, this was check issued but not presented for the payment. So now these are the checks which are issued but they were not presented for the payment. Now here we are moving from cash book to bank statement. So these checks were issued. So your balance in the cash book has reduced to that extent. But since same were not presented for the payment, they are not appearing in the bank statement. And these continues for the month of March also. So this will be added to your bank reconciliation statement as on 31st March 2019. So add checks issued but not presented for payment. Now let's copy this in the bank reconciliation statement. And just to control, I'll just change the color of this transaction since it is included in the bank reconciliation statement. Now this is check deposited but not cleared, 258,741, 15,000. So this was check which was deposited before 1st March 2019 and it is not cleared in the month of March also. So now this check deposited, so it has increased our balance in the cash book, but the same is not recorded in the bank statement. So to the extent of 15,000, our bank balance as per the bank statement will be less as compared to cash book. Now we are moving from cash book to bank statement. So we will reduce this 15,000 in the bank reconciliation statement as on 31st March 2019. Now let's go to the bank reconciliation statement. Now I'll be leaving some 3-4 lines as there might be certain additional transactions of check issued but not presented. Less checks deposited but not cleared. Now we will copy this. And just to keep a check or control, we'll just change the color of this to green. Now let's move to the bank statement. Now in bank statement, these are the transactions which are required to be included in your bank reco. Now, if you see these transaction, transfer, transaction number and a credit. Now these three transactions are similar. So let's analyze what is the nature of this transactions. There is a credit. So there is some amount which has been transferred and credited to your bank statement, but the same amount is not recorded in the cash book. Because of this credit entries, your balance as per bank statement has increased to the extent of 30,000 total, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. But since the same are not recorded in the cash book, the balance to that extent is less as compared to the bank statement. Now we are moving from cash book to bank statement. So we have to add this in the bank reconciliation statement as on 31st March 2019. Let's do this. So in bank reconciliation statement, add direct bank transfers credited in the bank statement but not recorded in the books. So let's copy this transaction number and the amount. Let's copy this transaction number first and the amount. So amount is here. So we'll just highlight this with a different color just to keep a check. Next, DPT, rent to Meghna, DPT, electricity. Now these are the direct payments which are done by the bank, but the same are not recorded in the cash book. Now what has happened because of this is, because of this direct payment, the balance in your bank statement has reduced to this extent as compared to cash book. Now in bank reconciliation statement, we are moving from cash book to bank statement. So we have to reduce this amount in the bank reconciliation statement. Let's do that. Less direct payments by bank not recorded in the books of accounts. Let's copy this transaction number and amount. And let's mark this with a different color. Next, 31st March 2019, interest credited by bank 5,000 and it is not recorded in the cash book. So since the interest is credited by bank, it has increased the balance as per bank statement, but same is not recorded in the cash book. So to the extent of 5,000, the balance in the cash book is less. Now in bank reconciliation statement, we are moving from cash book to bank statement. So we have to add this in bank reconciliation statement. So let's go to the bank reconciliation statement. Add interest credited by bank not recorded in the books. Amount is 5,000. Now this is only one transaction. So I will write this 5,000 in the outer column. Now let's highlight this. We'll go to the cash book. So these are some fees which are received, and these are the checks and they are debited in the cash book. So these are the checks which are deposited but not yet cleared. So they are appearing in the cash book but they are not appearing in the bank statement. So now what has happened because of this is our balance in the cash book has increased but the same are not recorded in the bank statement. So balance in the bank statement is less as compared to cash book to the extent of 30,000. In the bank reconciliation statement, we are moving from cash book to bank statement. So we have to reduce this checks deposited but not cleared. Let's go to the bank reconciliation statement. Now check deposited but not cleared. We have already recorded one check from our previous bank reconciliation statement. Now let's add these checks to this columns. So cash book, these are the check numbers and this is the amount. Now let's highlight this with the gray. Next, 30th March, 31st March. So we have some payments. We have paid salary and payment to A. We have checks here which are credited. So they are payments. So these are check issued but they are not yet presented for the payment. So now what has happened because of this, your balance as per cash book has reduced but since same are not presented for the payment, the balance as per bank statement to that this extent is greater as compared to cash book. So we will be adding this to our bank reconciliation statement since we are moving from cash book to bank statement. Now let's add this. Let's go to the bank reconciliation statement. Check issued but not presented. We already have one check which was issued in the previous month but it is not cleared in the month of March. We have taken this from our opening bank reconciliation statement as on 1st March 2019. So let's include all these checks here. So this is check number. Let's copy this. Then this is the amount. Let's copy the amount. Let's change the color just to keep a check. Now all fields are marked gray in the cash book. So all the entries from the cash book are included in the bank reconciliation statement. All the entries of bank statement are also included. Then all the entries of bank reconciliation which were pending are also included in the bank reconciliation statement. Now let's take the total of bank reconciliation statement. So sum of this 3. Then here we have sum of this 3. Then here again we have sum of this. Then here we have sum of this 3. Now we had started with the balance as per cash book. Now we will be getting here balance as per bank statement as on 31st March 2019. Here is equal to 10,30,000. Then we have to add this. So plus 1,30,000. Then we have to reduce 45,000. So less 45,000. Then this 30,000 we have to add. So add 30,000. Then less this 95,000. Then interest we have to add. So equal to 10,55,000. So let's see the bank statement. Now balance as on 31st March 2019 is 10,55,000. So this bank reconciliation statement is correct. Now what we can do is we can just take this D35 minus your balance as per bank statement has to be 0. So this shows that all the reconciliation items are considered and your bank reconciliation statement is correct. Now instead of starting with balance as per cash book, we can also start as balance as per bank statement, and then we can move from bank statement to cash book. So this is a bank reconciliation statement wherein we have started with the balance as per bank statement and we have found out the balance as per cash book. Now practically once we prepare the bank reconciliation statement, after this bank reconciliation statement, whatever are the pending entries or rectification entries in the cash book, we pass those pending or rectification entries in the cash book and then we remove those items from bank reconciliation statement. For example, this first, check issued but not presented for the payment. So these are already in the cash book but not recorded in the bank statement. So nothing can be done about this. So this will remain in the bank reconciliation statement. Then this, check deposited but not cleared. Again, these are there in your cash book but not in the bank statement. So again, nothing can be done about this and this will appear in your bank reconciliation statement unless they are cleared. Then third, now this bank transfers credited in the bank statement but not recorded in the books. Now these transactions will be recorded in the books of accounts. These transactions are pending transactions and they will be recorded in the books of accounts and they will be removed from your bank reconciliation statement. Then direct payment by the bank not recorded in the books of accounts. Again, this will be recorded in the books of accounts and then they will be removed in your bank reconciliation statement. Third, interest credited by bank but not recorded in the books. So this is also pending to be recorded in your cash book. So it will be recorded and removed from your bank reconciliation statement. So at the end of a particular period, your bank reconciliation statement, when you do it for the first time, all these transactions will appear. Then all these entries are passed in the cash book and subsequently they are removed from the bank reconciliation statement. So your bank reconciliation statement will have only those transactions which will be like check issued but not presented for the payment or check deposited but not cleared. So this was about how to prepare a bank reconciliation statement in Excel.